You talked about years ago, you know how we were. We stayed up late. You wake up whenever. Weekends, you might sleep in. What's your sleep routine like these days? What works for you? And how important is sleep for you?
It probably has become the most important thing. And it was something that I stumbled upon maybe about 3.5, almost 4 years ago. Just starting to understand, oh, okay, if I could shift some of these habits, if I could do these little things differently, then it might make a difference. And, I saw an immediate impact from that in terms of how well I was waking up. And now probably more recently, to me, it's become more about my nighttime routine than anything else. Like, what am I doing to wind down? Trying not to consume myself with screens and TV, and being consistent with when I'm going to sleep. I mean, my wife, I don't want to say she complains about it, but she knows now that if we're sitting on the couch, ending the night with a show, and I'm looking at the clock, it does not matter how much time is left. There could be 8 minutes left in that show, and I'm like,
Yep.
It's time to go to bed. Like, let's go. It's
Yep.
like, really? Nope. Because I want to stay disciplined with the routine. And the more I stay disciplined with the routine, the better I've been feeling. And I think you already know I'm preaching to the choir, but like, it's helped with maintaining my leanness. It's helped with keeping my energy levels high. I really do believe it is the one thing that has made probably the greatest impact on my life in the last 4 years.
Yeah, crazy. People say to me, Tom, you got a hack? Do you have a supplement that you recommend? And I'm like, I've got the biggest supplement you can think of. And like, what is it? I said, listen, it's going to be a tough one though, right? And they're thinking TRT, they're thinking of fat burners, whatever. I go, listen, get your sleep right. It's the most anabolic agent. It is the best muscle repair mechanism around. Get your sleep right. And they're always disappointed in that, but they always know, shit, man, you're right. So having said that, what time do you go to bed?
I try to get myself up to my bedroom by 9:30. And then I have my wind down routine. I read before bed and that. So I'm usually, my head is hitting the pillow at about 9:45, maybe 10 o'clock the latest. And I'm typically getting up at about 4:45 to 5 a.m.
Nice. Okay. So you're getting probably a good 7 hours sleep.
Yeah, that's my goal, is be a consistent 7 every night.
Yeah, beautiful. So you're putting positive stuff into your head before you go to
Always.
bed. Excellent.
Always.
Love it. How about going to the bathroom midway through the night? No problem. You've managed your water so that doesn't happen, because a lot of guys, you know how it is, right?
Yeah, that's exactly one of the things that I've probably had to focus more on in the past few years is, as much as I'll preach myself, the importance of drinking enough water and making sure, I'm getting in usually a minimum of 96 ounces a day for myself. I'm cutting it off typically like around 7:30, or at least at that point I'm taking sips. And that's it. So that this way, yeah, I do not put myself in that position where I'm being woke at 3 a.m. and then looking at the clock going, oh man, I got to get up in 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so many people go to bed so late because they're just not fulfilled. Their day didn't give them enough. They're trying to grasp at that last little straw that makes them happy. What do you say to somebody like that where, listen, you got to shut off your phone. You got to shut off the TV. You got to go to bed. I understand you don't quite feel fulfilled, and that's why you're still on, social media or whatever. What do you say to that person?
Yeah, that's a great question. As far as, what I would say is you just have to transition your habit. So I get the wanting to wind down, wanting to just kind of, shut your brain off, so to speak. And that's why, I'm admittingly, I'll put in a good 30, maybe 45 minutes of television time before bed. But to me, the more important thing is the 15 minutes before I'm laying my head down to sleep. And that's where reading comes in, because we know that, okay, now we're stimulating our brain in a positive way. You are receiving fulfillment, especially depending upon what you're filling yourself with. That is a key factor as well. And for me, at least personally, like that brings me the fulfillment that I'm looking for and puts me in the proper state. So I get what you're after, but I think there's multiple ways to attain it, and it doesn't always have to be through the tube. I mean, you can open up a book and, you know, receive the same level of satisfaction from that.
Yeah, totally. How does the weekend change sleep-wise? No different Friday night. I mean, tonight, Friday night, you going to bed at the same time? Saturday, same thing. Does it shift a little bit? No. Do you try to catch up with sleep? Where are you at with that?
So definitely not ever trying to catch up. I don't believe you ever can truly catch up. You know, as I said, it's always about stacking small habits and, you know, at least being consistent with getting the 7 hours. Now, that said, I am not afraid to shift that 7 hours if I need to. So Friday night for us, it's family night. And, you know, it's the one night that we will let the kids stay up a little bit later, and they're falling asleep on us on the couch after watching a movie. And then, you know, me and my wife are sitting there like, hey, let's put on something we want to watch. So yeah, we might not be going to bed until 11, possibly 12 o'clock, but also our Saturday is set up so that we don't really have to begin until about 7 a.m. So we're still making sure we get that 7 hours, or at least me specifically. I am very diligent about it. And then, you know, Saturday nights, we know, hey, next day is church, so we got to be up at a certain time, and so we shift it that way. And if it means going to bed a little bit earlier, or we could still stay up a little bit later, we kind of play it by ear. But to me, like you said before, the goal is the 7 hours, and that's what I'm just constantly trying to keep my mind wrapped around.
Beautiful. Yeah, awesome advice, man.